Good air isn't good enough. Okay, and those in favor of Jennifer? Okay, Jennifer by far got the top. So Jennifer's got 6, and I've got 2 of them at 4, Dave Shoemaker and John. So that, knowing that, and knowing that we've got to break a tie in there, those in favor of John? Okay. 5, okay. Those in favor of Dave? Jennifer and John, and me. Jennifer, John, and Sean. Now, this is your all vote. If you're all fine with that, we're good to go.
Yeah.
Perfect. We'll coordinate some times to get together on these.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you for those items. Jennifer, do we have any correspondence?
No.
Okay. And council comments? John?
I'd just like to remind everyone that this is kettle time for the Salvation Army, and if you are interested in volunteering your time, there are a lot of kettle assignments. I know as we draw closer to Christmas, one of the things that help offset the cost is that when we have volunteers for the Salvation Army, we do hire bell ringers at minimum wage, but when we have volunteers, it helps to offset the cost, and more of the money goes to feeding people and clothing people. So if you are interested in being involved in just ringing bell for an hour or more, please come see me, and I'd like to get you connected in with the work of the Salvation Army. Thank you.
Other items for council? Rod?
2 things. They made a comment in the public comments about chance of losing the Humane Society building. Is that something on the table?
No.
First I've heard of it.
No, the meeting that Dave and I had with the Humane Society on Friday, the question was asked if the city were to take back over, or the West Columbia Gorge Humane Society was not involved in the operations of the dog area, if they would still have the ability to utilize the kennel area. And my answer was that was something that we probably need to get some clarification on from the auditor's office, if that's a gifting of city facilities or resources, if we don't actually have a service agreement between ourselves and themselves at that point.
Okay.
But no, the building isn't going anywhere.
Okay. The other question I have is, would either you or Trevor have somebody from the transfer station? It's kind of one of those things that, as it got built, became a contentious issue because people in the neighborhood in the industrial park felt there was going to be a lot of garbage and stuff, and it's kind of one of those things that's far enough away that it's out of sight, out of mind, but I've never heard another report back as to how well it's operating and that if the neighbors are getting along, or...
We get monthly tonnage reports from Waste Connections, Camas tonnage, as well as Washougal tonnage, not only garbage but recycle. And then there's specific triggers within the contract if tonnages are exceeded, where there's additional compensation to the city. So it's, to my understanding, it's going fairly well with the neighbors in the industrial park.
Yeah, and then there was supposed to have been some benefits to the city by having it out here. Would you identify those when you bring them back to us at workshop or otherwise?
Yeah, we can do that.
Thanks.
Other items from council?
Yes, sir. Yes. And Mr. Mayor, I rise tonight in regards to 2 items. One, I'd like to request at a future workshop, doesn't have to be immediate, but just at some time in the near future, for an update from community development with regards to our interlocal agreement concerning our sharing of inspectors with Camas. I'd like to see how that's going and to see whether or not everybody is satisfied with that situation as well. And with regards to the Highway 14 issue that was spoken about earlier tonight, I think it is it's going to be potentially a contentious issue once the whole project is completed, if we don't go down the road of requesting a change. What I saw in taking a look at the plans very closely was that really, we are getting ourselves potentially in a situation where we're going to lose a lot of traffic that would have stopped in Washougal, but that's going to fly by because they don't realize that the exit that they should have taken was a mile back, or half mile back even, and that's a very difficult place to be in. And it could be possible. I don't know the engineering myself, and as Trevor mentioned, it might just be improbable with the grade change. But if it is possible to have a change order, and if there is any additional money in the project, which I believe I've heard a rumor that there might be, it would be great to be able to advocate for a potential change order to address having an off-ramp that's in between the two intersections, Union and the next one. Anyway, with that, I yield the floor.
Thank you. Okay, seeing no other items, we'll go to public hearing on agenda bill. Well, actually, let's reverse these. I'm going to take what was consent agenda item number 11, Agenda Bill 17910, the correction of the bi-monthly rate, table for ordinance 1678 for stormwater, and we'll take that one first. Don?
There's been some confusion on this, so I wanted to take it off consent agenda and get it before you this way. We have a corrected agenda bill. Basically, the problem that we had with the previous ordinance was that the attachment to it said that it was a bi-monthly rate, but the rates were shown as monthly rates. And thanks for Sherry and Wright had caught that for us, and so we are here to make amends to that. So on November 15, 2010, Council passed ordinance number 1678, amending the stormwater rates charged by the city of Washougal. Inadvertently, the charts shown in the approved ordinance had a heading of bi-monthly stormwater rates when the actual rates shown were monthly stormwater rates. Code sections 1432.030 and 1432.040 all talk in terms of monthly rates. The new code section 1432.045 has a chart showing all the monthly rates for the various categories. The recommended action is to read the ordinance by title only, amending ordinance number 1678, followed by pass, post, and publish in the usual manner.
Mr. Mayor, I ask unanimous consent that we read the ordinance by title only.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 1678, correcting Scribner's errors with regard to the new stormwater rates to be charged by the city for the years 2011 through 2015 inclusive.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we pass, post, and publish the ordinance in the usual manner.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second to pass, post, and publish the ordinance in the usual manner. Any council discussion?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I also want to say thank you very much for watching over us. Appreciate that.
I've already expressed that to her myself, so we do appreciate her watching out for us.
Other comments? Okay, I've got a motion and a second to pass, post, and publish the ordinance in the usual manner. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And Agenda Bill 180-110, set a public hearing for incorporation of Chapter 1017, roadway construction zones into Washougal Municipal Code. Mr. Evers.
Thank you, Mayor Guard, council members. Currently in Chapter 10 of Municipal Code, we do not have any verbiage around establishing construction zones. So what you have before you requesting to set the public hearing would grant the Public Works Director the authority to designate construction zones. I had conversations with both